Coach Sully, Reps and Sweat Martial Arts and Fitness. This is Matt Chat. Today, I wanted to talk about training with smaller partners and training with bigger partners, particularly as it pertains to women training with men and men training with women. As a lot of you may know, I recently started a women's class specifically for women, and my reason for starting the class is because a lot of times what happens with these fight gyms, martial arts academies, any kind of combat sport geared or oriented thing usually ends up attracting athletic, tough guys, athletic men. And my thoughts were that, first of all, I got into this whole coaching thing for the sole purpose of giving the underdog, giving the weaker person, giving the women and children, to be specific, the tools that they need to defend themselves. But what I noticed is when you step into a martial arts academy, when you step into a fight gym, they're usually overflowing with guys, they're overflowing with athletic guys, and that just comes with the territory. It's the sort of thing that attracts the athletic guys, the tough guys. But as far as I was concerned, and from my standpoint, for what I wanted to get out of this whole coaching thing, it kind of moves in the opposite direction where I wanted to go, where I envisioned my path to take me. So I started a women's only, women specific class that focuses on self-defense. But I still understand the importance of women working their self-defense techniques, their combat sport techniques on partners that are stronger than them, namely men. I still think that that's important. But I created this class, honestly, as a segue to move women in the right direction to eventually get to the point where they're working with men. Because there's an element of comfort that women are looking for when they are stepping into, gyms or anything like that. And that male-female dynamic can present discomfort for women. So I figured it'd be a good idea to create a stepping stone to get women moving in that direction. But I do believe that it's very important for women to test their martial arts skills, their self-defense skills on men who are stronger than they are. Otherwise, what would be the point of it? So, but also, I think that it's important for men to also work with women, because yes, it's a lot of times men are hesitant to work with women because they want to be gentle. They don't want to hurt women. They feel more comfortable working with men because they can go hard. But the male-female dynamic in martial arts is beneficial for both sides. I know when I'm teaching, I generally, when I get a strong, athletic man that I'm teaching, I'm trying to get them to learn how to control, contain, and monitor their strength. In essence, I want them to slow down and to lighten up. But on the flip side, when I'm teaching women, my goal for them is to help them find their strength, is to teach them how to push, is to teach them how to exert force, how to produce force. And I think working together, men and women, can help bring those aspects that are necessary but inherently missing, help bring those aspects out of each other. So women get to work on their strength, their force, and men get to work on being gentle, being calculated, and being measured. So it's a great dynamic, and it's beneficial for both. But a lot of times there's a discomfort because obviously, and the discomfort is on both sides. Because women want to be in an environment that they feel comfortable in. They're doing something physical, they're sweating. And men also don't want to be working with somebody that they think that they're going to hurt. So both are, when they're working together, both are extremely outside of their comfort zone. And for developing efficient martial arts skills, I think that discomfort is necessary. I think that it will enhance, obviously, the obvious with women working with men. With men, they can see that their techniques that they're learning are going to work if they are, God forbid, in a situation where they need to use it. But it's also beneficial for men to teach them how to have more control over their force. So it's a great dynamic. It's great. I know stepping on the mats, being a 200 plus male, it benefited me a lot. Like especially doing jujitsu. Jujitsu is a really good art for women. And that's another topic. I should probably do a video on that. But especially doing jujitsu, working I've been doing this for 25 years. So working with women is not a problem. And I usually can make it a competitive exchange, if that makes sense. But it being able to do so has also helped me in my development. So I think it'll help other people as well in their development. I'm always telling the guys when they step on the mat, they're punching these bags, slow down. Make sure, you got to figure out what everything else is doing other than those hard punches that you're trying to deliver to these bags. And then on the flip side, I'm telling women, you can hit that bag a little bit harder. The other day, I was in my women's class, and these are women that it's their first time doing any sort of martial arts. And a lot of them have never hit anybody. I said, hey, we've been on the bags for a few months. So I'm like, I'm going to play the moving punching bag, if you want to call it. And a lot of them were having a problem with hitting me. They were punching. If I was just standing there, they were kind of holding their punches back. They genuinely had an issue hitting me. And it's not something that is only with women, but it is mostly with women. And with the women that I've worked with, I've seen that be a common theme where they are hesitant to project their force. But it's something that we both men and women can help each other with. So for the women out there that are in the martial arts, make sure you're training with the guys. These women classes are great, and it's great to work with other women and build yourselves up and help each other build up. But eventually you got to get in there and mix it up with the guys. And guys, make sure that you're creating an environment that these women feel comfortable getting in there and mixing it up with you. Because it's going to be beneficial for you as well. Just in general, this kind of goes across the board when you're dealing with a gap between skill, strength, size, and all of that. The stronger guys want to stick with the stronger guys, and the weaker folks want to stick with the weaker folks, and everybody wants to stay in their comfort zone. But that kind of goes completely against what martial arts is all about. And the stronger guys, and this is coming from a strong guy, your technique will improve tenfold when you slow down. You slow down. And I get so much, and I got to be honest, I get so much resistance. And I don't know if I'm sure it's not on purpose. It's just that you got guys that have dedicated years and years of their lives to being strong and to being forceful. And then they get these heavy bags in front of them, and the bald-headed coach is telling them to hit it slow. It's counterintuitive. But I'm telling you, it's going to be very, very beneficial for you to slow down. So, and you're not It's not you're not doing the ladies a favor by taking your time and going slow. So you can't look at it like, you're doing charity work. This is work that's benefiting you just as much as it's benefiting them. And we kind of, as coaches, when you first step into coaching, you're like, damn, I got to work with all of these beginners. I'm not going to really be able to get no solid work in. That's the first dilemma that we go through when we're coaching. But I'm telling you, there's benefit in scaling back and slowing down and lightening up. There's huge benefit in that. So keep that in mind. And then for your ladies, I've seen ladies that have been punching these bags for months and they're still going slow. It's time to put some pop on those punches. It's time let's see if we can get your fist going through that bag. Let's see if we can speed it up. Let's see if we can make these punches actually hurt somebody. It's there. You've been doing it slow for months. The body mechanics is there. So keep that in mind. Like I said, when I'm coaching the strong, the big, the athletic, my goal is to teach them how to slow down. And when I'm coaching the small, the not so athletic, the relatively weaker student, my goal is to teach them to find their strength and to find their power. All right, hopefully this was useful, beneficial, informative, educational. I'm out of here. Coach Sully, Reps and Sweat, Martial Arts and Fitness. This was Mat Chat.